Chris and Monica. You know what really sours our kraut? When people pronounce Pittsburgh terms incorrectly. Do we have Pittsburgh accents?
No, we don't, actually.
Why don't we have Pittsburgh accents?
Because one of us came from West Virginia. Do not call her a mountain mama, though, because she will behead you.
I am not a fan, but I do love beheading. And this one had it beaten out of her at university in Spain.
This is not the university that I went to in Spain, and there actually was no violence. It was actually questioned out of me when people would say, "From whence do you get a shower?" Or "a crick is in your neck," or what was the other one?
Woof is what a dog says.
Yeah, woof was a big one. And it's still really difficult to even say those things to my family. Like, I feel like if I'm talking about growing up at my grandma's house, I need to say that we played in the crick, because if we played in the creek, it just sounds a little too pretentious.
And like, it's weird for me if I'm somewhere around home or even around Chris's family and I'm like, I would like a beverage. I always feel weird when I ask for a soda because everybody growing up and all around here called it a pop.
It's true. So we're going to teach you, for when you come to Pittsburgh and have your next visit here, we're going to teach you how to say things correctly when you're in the burg. So
the next time Yins are here, take a jitney down the south side and we'll help Yins out.
By the way, we are in Oakland near the Pitt campus now. This is the Cathedral of Learning on the Pitt campus, and we're right by the Carnegie Library. You're going to hear more about Carnegie in a little while. So, in Pittsburgh, this delicious Greek lamb sandwich is not called a gyro, as a lot of people in other places say. We say gyro. Come on, it's spelled just like that. So, we came to get some gyros. I can't bite this. I can't bite this right now. This is Carnegie Deli. This is Carnegie Hall. This is the Carnegie Museum. This is Carnegie Mellon University.
It's Carnegie Mellon. This is Carnegie Music Hall. Carnegie!
This is the Carnegie Library of Pittsburgh.
This is Carnegie.
This is Carnegie.
And this is Carnegie.
Carnegie, not Carnegie. That's a New York pronunciation, and don't even try that crap here.
Andrew Carnegie came here at age 13 to make his fortune. I'm pretty sure we know how to pronounce his name.
Just kidding. That is a New York pronunciation and elsewhere in the world, but Carnegie is the correct Scottish pronunciation, and it's actually the pronunciation that he himself preferred. Happy Valentine's Day.
That's Carnegie. Terms that people use for talking about folks in the Pittsburgh area is, see, I just said folks, not folks, is Yinzer. And that is because a lot of people in Pittsburgh, instead of saying y'all or you all, they say Yinz, which is a contraction of you ones. Is that right?
I think so.
So people from Pittsburgh are called Yinzers, and that is where my social media handle, Lesbianzer, came from, because queer woman, lesbian, and Yinzer. So there you go.
This is Yinz coffee, which they have inside of the Carnegie Library. But here's a fun thing about Yinz. This is the way that you say it. You call us Yinzers. Yinz is how you spell it. Growing up, my family used this like crazy, but we didn't pronounce it like this. We actually pronounced it Yinz, which sounds more like a plural of you than Yinz does. So we'd be like, you know, what are Yinz doing later? So it's kind of like, in Philly, don't they say like use or something like that?
I think.
I'm sorry that I said Philly in a Pittsburgh video. It's terrible. But, you know, lots of pronunciations. People use it in different ways. But you'll see Yinz a lot, and that's what it means. And that's how you can say Yinz, you can say Yunz, whichever way you like it.
If you happen to get a Christmas card from Chris's great Aunt Betty, it will involve the word Yinz. Love Yinz.
It's true.
Uncle Tom and Aunt Betty. Anyway, hope you enjoy this one.
I know, right?
So the whole purpose for this video was watching other travel bloggers who aren't from around here come to this restaurant that we are in and pronounce it Primanti Brothers. And that may be like the fancy non-Yinzer pronunciation, but that's not how you say it. We're going down Primanti's in that. So it's pronounced Primanti's. You don't need to say the brothers.
You don't need to say it. If you say it, you say Primanti Brothers. It's almost like P-E-R instead of P-R-I, but you definitely don't say Primanti. You don't pronounce the T. Where are you from?
That's like a dead giveaway that you are not a Yinzer at all. You're not even Yinzer adjacent. You're not, you know, an Ohioan or something. Pittsburgh doesn't have a ton of food that it's known for, like Chicago and its deep dish pizza, or Boston and its beans. I don't know. Duncan? Anyway, but if you're watching professional sports and they show like a highlight reel or like B-roll of someone making food, 9 times out of 10 it is at this restaurant, Primanti's. Now, it is not at this location. We are in one of the suburban locations. They usually do all the filming of that, like of the grill and everything at the and the sandwiches being made at the, I think it's the original Primanti's in
I believe so.
Yeah, in the Strip District, which is the one that I used to go to when I was in college.
I don't know if I've ever been to that one.
You're welcome. Also, they have really great happy hour specials. Primanti's also has their very own red ale, which is new according to the sign, and that is what Christina over here got.
So, the history of Primanti's, by the way, it was in the Strip. In the Strip was where the train tracks would line up and where they would offload goods to be taken throughout town. So, originally, when people were driving their trucks to pick things up, they needed something that they could eat in one hand so that they could drive their trucks to wherever they needed to go after they got their stuff off of that train load. So there's, you know, some, not speculation, but some people have heard it was for steel workers or for different workers in the city. The main thing is that it was for workers so that they could hold it in one hand. So as you'll see when we get our food, the sandwich comes with french fries and coleslaw on top. If you're ordering it for the first time and you're visiting the city, order it that way. Don't be a baby. Just order it that way and try it. If you don't love it, that's fine. You do have to add hot sauce to it. That is the key. If you don't love it, great. Then maybe the next time you could get it separately. But the first time, you have to try it the true original way. So we'll show you whenever our food comes what the sandwich looks like. Yeah?
I am stoked.
We're excited.
Valentine's Day.
Yeah, it's Valentine's Day, and this is where we ended up. But we like to get a sandwich and wings, and they had a special today where you could get like a third thing as well. So we're doing advertising for them now. So we got this. Monica's been craving
Mozzarella sticks.
Yeah.
I have been super craving mozzarella sticks, so this was one of the options that we could get, and so we had to order them. So this is the best sauce to put on the Primanti Brothers sandwich. It's Chipotle Tabasco. And you do this, and then it's perfect. And I'll show you. It's thick. But 17 C's. You could eat that and drive. I mean, you're gonna have to smash it down a bit, and maybe they didn't make it this wide in the past, but that's a Carnegie Brothers sandwich. So good. Ready?
hi, we're in a new spot. I feel like we don't need to say hi.
We can say hi. We are in a new spot. We're in one of Pittsburgh's many, many, many parks. This is Frank Kurtow Park.
And there's a blue jay.
Caw-caw! I don't, yeah.
So we're here in a park off of Bigelow Boulevard, and we have a couple more Pittsburgh pronunciations for you. The ones we're going to talk about here are our football team. So our football team is the Steelers, as we know, but that's not how most people say the Steelers. Instead, they say
Stillers!
the Stillers.
Stillers won 5 Super Bowls in that. Oh, wait, is it 6? Stillers won 6 Super Bowls in that.
We're kicked out of Pittsburgh
I'm
if we
not sure.
don't know.
I have to look.
Anyway, so Pittsburghers have a little bit of trouble with I's and E's.
And
For
L's.
example, if I try to say Millvale, I really have to pause and think about it and do it slowly, because Millville is what you want to do. It's just a really difficult one. So Steelers becomes Stillers. Another one that uses that I and E sound is the word fill or feel. So those ones can kind of be interchanged a little bit. When we're doing cookies, we talk about the fill icing as opposed to the piping icing. But when we're yelling across the table, oftentimes it will come across as, give me that feel.
Or feel.
They don't want to be felt. It's that they want the fill icing. So I's and E's a little bit difficult for whatever reason here. And even with the word Pittsburgh, we hear a lot of people say Pittsburgh, but I don't know that I've ever actually heard a real person say it honestly when they mean Pittsburgh.
I think that's one of the holdovers, maybe. Like, that's maybe what people used to say 20, 30, 40 years ago. But people don't say that as much
Usually,
now.
people have corrected, and usually people say Pittsburgh, but Pittsburgh is one of those things when we're imitating the Pittsburgh accent, we say Pittsburgh and that, but it's not, I don't really hear people say Pittsburgh.
Yeah, it's rare.
But Pennsylvania,
Pennsylvania.
there's no L in it.
PennsaVania.
Yep.
Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania, and that's one that so many people say, a lot of people in my family. That one makes me nuts. I don't know why. So I'm always like, Pennsylvania. It's not that difficult, but then other people would say to me, Millvale is not that difficult, and it is.
One of the great things about the Pittsburgh area is the hills. Not so great when you're biking or walking, but really good for the views. So over here, we're overlooking the Strip District. It's a really cool view. It's nice that it's wintertime and none of the leaves are out, so you really can see. It's just one of the many, many, many cool views of the city of Pittsburgh.
We're heading up to Mount Washington now. You can see us driving underneath of the incline tracks, which is a really cool thing to do. But unfortunately, we made a bit of a rookie mistake. We got a new wireless mic that was working great for us the rest of this day, but when we got up to Mount Washington, for some reason, all of our videos ended up without sound. So we're gonna do awkward voiceovers over top of the videos that we took up on Mount Washington.
We're up here on Mount Washington, or Mount Washington to the locals, which is one of the most beautiful views of the city of Pittsburgh. And here before you, you see downtown, or in Yinzer, downtown.
Up on Mount Washington, we ran into a reason to talk to you more about those E's and I's and why they're difficult for Pittsburghers. This is the Steel Mill Saloon, and Pittsburgh is full of steel mills, which is terrible. Why do that to us? Because that's having to put an E and an I right next to each other. So steel mill, difficult. We just want to say still mills because it's a lot easier.
Okay, I think I was talking about the south side here. And that if you're a Yinzer, you pronounce it as south side. I think there's like a jaunty little going down a south side thing here. Maybe with this, maybe with that friendly thumb gesture.
Here we are on another section of Mount Washington, and I'm pointing out to you all that this is where Monica brought me on our first date. She wanted to show me a standard Pittsburgh first date, so she brought me to Mount Washington and we sat on those benches and held hands, and a religious group walked by and gave us the stink eye, but here we are.
In the background there is the Cathedral of Learning, which we filmed and you saw earlier in this video. We're on Mount Washington, and the Cathedral of Learning is at the University of Pittsburgh in Oakland. Also visible in this, in case you were curious, is where I went to college, Duquesne University. Here we have the football stadium where the Steelers play. See, it's spelled A-C-R-I-S-U-R-E, but it's pronounced Heinz.
We've got one last food one for you, and that is Kielbasa. We don't say Kielbasa here, we say kibasi. I grew up saying kibasi, and again, when I'm with my family, it's weird to say Kielbasa when we're talking about what we eat on New Year's Day, which is pork and sauerkraut and kibasi.
So normally, and how I grew up, we'd wash our clothes, but here, it's wash. By the way, this is not our washing machine. It's my mother-in-law's. It's Chris's mother's. Wash!
Dippy the Dinosaur says, see yins later, and thanks for watching. He'd also like you to subscribe to our channel to see more, and leave a comment with your favorite Pittsburgh pronunciation in case we missed any.